fucking stressed out!
Stop letting women convince you that you need to upgrade their life.
Why are some women struggling financially in 2026 while more men are becoming unwilling to step in and provide support? What happens when expectations of male financial assistance meet men who are prioritizing independence, savings, and protecting their own income? As housing, debt, and everyday expenses rise, more people are questioning whether financial independence is becoming a necessity. Today's video explores that growing debate.
I'm just thinking about the money that I lost, the income that I lost. I'm broke.
The usual framing ignores the factors affecting both men and women differently: housing costs, debt, unstable employment, childcare, and rising lifestyle expenses. Financial hardship isn't exclusive to one gender, but the expectation that men should automatically absorb someone else's financial problems is becoming harder to maintain. Men are increasingly questioning that assumption.
There is a very strange argument that comes from men online whenever they want to bring a woman down. But you are not married, but you are single. Where is the ring on your finger? It's like they imagine that you are some kind of an apple in a supermarket that no one wants to buy. And I find this so strange that they project their own experience, negative experience, on women online. But this is not how it works. Maybe once in a while you should listen to a women's perspective. For example, me. I've been married, and that was quite a while ago, but I left my ex-husband. And since then, I've got 4 official proposals. And by the way, I'm not opposed to marriage. I'm not married because I'm picky, I'm demanding, I know what I want, and also I know what it's like to be with a man who is not that great, and also I know what it's like to be alone with a person who is great. You are single because no one wants you. No one wants an unhappy person who leaves nasty comments online, who judges women for their decisions. No one wants this man. No one wants a relationship with you. They just want to sleep with you. Yes, true. You're jealous? There are lots of people who want to sleep with me. And that says more about men, not about me. We are single for different reasons. We don't live in the same reality, bro.
A man providing financial help can create another set of obligations. Paying someone's rent, covering recurring expenses, or constantly rescuing another person from financial mistakes can quickly become a permanent responsibility. Men who have watched friends become financially trapped by these arrangements have adjusted. Protecting your finances isn't selfish, it's recognizing that unlimited support can hurt both people.
Man, so we say stay-at-home boyfriends are on the rise in the United States. I ain't gonna lie, bro, I'm not surprised by this at all. Ever since FanDuel became legal in most states, niggas ain't trying to work no more. Niggas out here trying to turn $1 into 1,000 on them parlays. I honestly feel like sports betting play a part. I feel like as long as you making money being a stay-at-home boyfriend, ain't nothing wrong with it. But if you the type of stay-at-home dude that ain't making no money on, you might as well get your ass off that couch and go make some. I see it's about 50-50. It's some dudes out here making money at the house. The ones that's not is just lazy as hell. Ain't no way I'm about to be a bum sitting at the house and my girl making money. Some of y'all niggas is waiting till y'all girl come home from work and asking them for $10, $15. How can you even feel like a man doing that shit? Anytime I'd have been broke as hell in life, I felt depressed and wanted to damn near unalive myself. I just don't understand how a man could be comfortable sitting at home with nothing going on. Like I said though, if you getting money, ain't nothing wrong with it. This for the dudes that's not making shit, just sleep all day. If you a woman out here and you got a dude like that, leave his ass. Facts.
The provider role was traditionally connected to a larger reciprocal arrangement. Men were expected to earn, protect, and provide. But when those traditional expectations disappear while financial demands remain, the calculation changes. Keep the provider obligation while removing reciprocity. That's not equality, it's a one-sided arrangement. Men notice the contradiction.
I'm fucking stressed out! I'm fucking stressed! We should not be working like this. I work my ass off and I can't even fucking pay bills, bro. And they always say don't compare yourself to others, but I see people going to Coachella and fucking like buying all types of shit, just pointless fuck you money, and I'm over here can't even fucking pay my fucking rent, bro.
Men are increasingly putting money toward things that build stability or retain value: savings, investments, homes, education, businesses, and retirement. The difference isn't necessarily that men care more about money. Many have simply realized how quickly income disappears when they become responsible for expenses they never agreed to carry.
Where are all the men? What the heck has happened to society these days, bro? Why am I still hearing that women are running the household while men just go and make the money and that's it, they come home, sit and relax? Why am I still hearing 50-50 is a real thing? Brother, no it's not. How dare you, as a man, as the one that provides apparently, say that this relationship is supposed to be a 50-50 relationship? Bro, are you stupid? Let me tell you this, yeah, the men that say that are the same men who don't know how to cook, don't know how to clean, don't know how to do the dishes, don't know how to do the washing. Cook, bro. Clean, cuz. Bro, you're not supposed to just go to work and come home and that's it, bro. That's not how this life works. If you're married, if you have a child, even if you're a boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever it is, bro, helping your missus get the shopping, paying for the shopping, and carrying the bags home don't make you a man, bro. That's not how, and then what, you're just gonna put the food down, she's gonna cook it. Brother, women aren't just born with the ability to cook, cuz. They learn, bro. So for you to now turn around and say, oh yeah, I don't know how to cook. Bro, YouTube, TikTok, there's flipping cooking channels everywhere, bro. Before I got married, I didn't know how to cook. How do you think I learned, bro? My chicken's to die for, bro. You know what I'm saying? If your wife left and you are at home alone with a child, bro, I feel sorry for your child if you don't know how to do it. How are you gonna change your nappies, bro? How are you gonna flipping cook, clean? How are you gonna do the washing, bro? You need to learn these things, bro. You need to be able to survive without a woman, bro. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to survive on your own as well, bro. Not just with and without a woman, cuz on your own. Don't understand men that don't know how to do much, bro. It's not good stuff. No.
The financial advice has been clear for years. Build your own income, maintain savings, avoid unnecessary debt, and don't depend entirely on another person. Women have received similar advice. Now men are applying the same principle to relationships. If financial independence matters for women, men are increasingly asking why they shouldn't expect it from their partners too.
Hey man, in 2026, fellas, stop letting women that are poor and losers convince you that you need to upgrade their life. That's not your job, man. If she poor, she a bum, and she a loser, she ain't never had shit. She's never been able to experience anything. Why should you put that on your dime and give her everything on a silver platter? Nah, if she don't have no drive, she don't have no motivation, hey, that's on her, bro. You shouldn't be out here trying to upgrade no dusty chick, taking on trips, buying her things. Listen, I don't care how fine she is. Never upgrade a woman that's a loser who ain't never had none or who's not doing anything for herself. You always, if you're gonna deal with a female, bro, and do anything for a female, you wanna make sure she has the capabilities of doing things for herself. You wanna make sure, man, she's on her grind. You wanna make sure that she has her life together. But nah, man, in 2026, in the new era, these women bombs. They poor, they don't have no money, and they all bombs. It's not your responsibility to upgrade her life if she hasn't tried to upgrade it on her own. It's not your responsibility, fellas. Stop letting dusty, dirty, loser women trick you into upgrading their life when they don't want none out of life themselves, man.
A man who refuses to financially rescue someone isn't necessarily being cruel. He may simply be protecting his future. Every dollar spent covering someone else's recurring expenses is money that can't go toward his mortgage, investments, retirement, or emergency fund. The trade-off is real, even when emotional pressure makes helping difficult to refuse.
Do not trust any woman on social media right now that claims that Patrick Clancy is guilty, but also claims that she watched the trial, not just because these people are sociopaths, but because they are intentionally manipulating the trial. Look at this edit I just found from a feminist.
You're aware that there was a prescription for buspirone or Buspar.
I found out about the Buspar later.
Were you aware that there was a prescription for hydroxynine?
I don't really recall much about that drug.
Were you aware in this bag there was another prescription for Buspar?
I wasn't keeping track.
The trazodone, 30 pills.
No.
Looks awful, right? Her video got 200,000 likes. That's the evidence she used to prove that Patrick was neglectful, but look at the full context, which she knowingly edited out.
We have the Zoloft that was prescribed by Dr. Tufts. You weren't aware that only 7 pills were taken out of this, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. There's another prescription in here for Ativan. Were you aware that only 6 pills were taken out of this prescription?
No.
Were you aware that there was a prescription for buspirone or Buspar in which only 2 pills were taken out of the 30 that were prescribed?
I found out about the Buspar later, and I didn't know about the number of pills taken.
Were you aware that there was a prescription for hydroxynine for 30 pills and that only 3 pills were taken out of this bottle?
I don't really recall much about that drug.
Were you aware in this bag there was another prescription for Buspar and no pills were taken out of this bottle? Were you aware of that?
I wasn't keeping track of the number of pills taken out of each bottle.
The trazodone, 30 pills. Were you aware that only 7.5 pills were taken out of this prescription?
No.
So there were a lot of pills prescribed, but not a lot of pills taken, correct?
Oh, and it's not just women, by the way, because a male feminist tried to pull this earlier.
Were you aware that she was seen by a licensed social worker, group therapist, and other mental health workers every day while she was there?
No, I didn't get any updates.
Were you aware that she was offered one-on-one therapy by unit staff every day that she was there?
No.
Lindsay Clancy was let down by so many people, but none more so than her husband.
37K likes he got on that, but let's see what he left out.
Visit her at McLean Hospital?
Yeah.
And while you were there with her, did Lindsay talk to you about treatment that she was receiving at McLean Hospital?
She told me about her experience. It didn't really seem like she was getting any treatment.
Did she tell you that she wasn't really getting any treatment?
I think by the third day, she said I haven't met with a doctor, so she didn't see a doctor until Tuesday. So until then, she was coloring and playing with clay and going for walks.
Were you aware that she was seen by a resident, a doctor, the first 2 days she was there, and then an attending on the third day that she was there?
No.
Were you aware that she was seen by a licensed social worker, group therapist, and other mental health workers every day while she was there?
Yeah, I didn't get any updates.
Were you aware that she was offered one-on-one therapy by unit staff every day that she was there?
No.
Did you know that she participated in group therapy on January 1st for 45 minutes, a session about illness and symptom management?
I didn't know the details of it.
And were you aware that she participated in 2 group therapy sessions?
I literally have to cut it off there for time because she went to so many therapy and group appointments in those 3 days she was at the hospital that it would literally go on for 4 minutes, all of which she was telling her husband nobody was helping her. So the fact that we are knowingly, not we, you guys are knowingly blowing past the facts and specifically editing out the parts that shows that Lindsay Clancy was lying to her husband consistently just goes to show that none of this is about true justice. It's just about making sure that a man pays the consequences for something that a woman admitted that she did.
But financial independence has limits. Medical costs, job loss, housing emergencies, and family responsibilities can affect anyone. Nobody is completely protected from hardship. The problem begins when temporary assistance turns into a permanent expectation.
This is a PSA for all of the privileged, rich, wealthy Americans. Hi, my name is Bridget. I'm 32 years old. I work full-time. And my paycheck does not give me enough to even get the bare minimums, okay? I had a savings account and I just had to use about half of it just to get by until my next paycheck, okay? And the reality of that is once my savings is gone, I don't have a crutch. I don't have any more crutches. And the stress of going grocery shopping, y'all, I'm at Aldi, okay, which is quite literally probably one of the cheaper grocery options. And the way that I have to pinch my pennies just to make sure I have enough food until the next paycheck is quite literally wild. So to all of my single humans out there, you're doing amazing. And you know, we're a one income family. My fur babies don't work. I wish they did. I wish there was an opportunity, but what are we supposed to do? Like, when is enough enough? Because this kind of living is unsustainable. Unsustainable. Meanwhile, y'all are out here driving your Teslas and your Cybertrucks and your G-Wagons. Y'all, I'm in a Chevy Equinox, okay? And I'm starting to think I need to trade it in because I can't afford life anymore. When is enough enough? I would love to know. I would absolutely love to know. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. I have a college degree. I am overqualified for my job. I am severely, severely underpaid. What are we supposed to do? What's the answer? Because I think the next step for me, I'm gonna have to look into food stamps, and I bet you my salary is above the threshold. But obviously, I'm $85.26 away from being in the negative. What are we supposed to do? How am I supposed to buy groceries for 2 weeks with $85 only to have 26 cents left in my bank account? When is enough enough?
Every demand for independence was delivered, and many men took it seriously. Build your career. Earn your own money. Become financially independent. Don't depend on a partner. Men heard the message and applied it to themselves. If they now refuse to become someone else's financial safety net, dissatisfaction with that choice isn't automatically their responsibility.
I just thought about the fact that when we're little girls and we start our menstrual cycle, we are expected to go to school, be normal, act normal, behave correctly, sit up, pay attention, regardless of the fact if we're having stomach cramps, if our mood has shifted because our hormones are all over the place. And these are little girls that some as young as 9 years old are expected to be mature enough to take care of ourselves hygienically, as well as pay attention in school and be a good girl, even though we may be in pain during our menstrual cycle. And then during the years when we could get pregnant, if we happen to get pregnant, we're expected to go to work while we're creating a whole ass human being in our body. Go to work, still be normal, still do all of the duties that we're supposed to do while we're creating a human being in our body. Then, regardless of whether or not we're having any pain or any discomfort during the pregnancy, then we have the baby, and 6 weeks after we have the baby, we are expected to go back to work and take care of all the things around our home, all the things at work, as well as raise a whole ass human being. And what if you have other kids at home? You're raising them, you got a newborn. We're expected to be super women and do all of that and do it well. Then when we reach menopause and we're going through brain fog and anxiety and depression and joint pain and forgetfulness and all kinds of other physical and mental symptoms, we're expected to go to work every day and be normal and perform to the highest level that we can. And when I think about all of that, I think about the fact that men could never take care of themselves at 9, 10, 11, 12 years old if they had a period and be hygienically clean like we're expected to be. They could never go to school and pay attention and sit there with cramps while they're in school. They could never be pregnant and deal with the things we deal with during pregnancy and have a baby and still be required to do all the things that we have to juggle after we have a baby. They could never go through all the things we go through in menopause. And a lot of us do it without any hormonal assistance, no hormone replacement therapy. They could never do any of that. And yet as women, we are expected to, sometimes required to. And at this age, now that I'm postmenopausal and I look back at my life, having gone through all of those stages, having been at the top of my game professionally and in my family life, doing everything while I'm going through all of these hormonal changes, menstrual cycles, pregnancies, delivering the baby, and menopause, I look at my life and I go, damn, we women, we have it rough. We really do. This is why we need more women in high healthcare positions, as well as in research, medical research, and in government, because some of this needs to be regulated. Some of it needs to be, I don't see why women going through menopause is not a medical condition that we may be able to take some time off work to get through, because we need it.
Two incomes can make a household stronger under the right conditions. Shared housing and coordinated spending can create genuine advantages. But when one person consistently spends beyond their means while expecting the other to compensate, those advantages disappear. The issue isn't gender. It's whether both people contribute responsibly.
These influencers out here broke in 2026, you guys. Okay? Their lifestyle is cracking, they broken, they just spent all their money. Social media convinced us that in regular life was boring, luxury apartments, designer handbags, $10,000 vacations, giant shopping halls that became somebody's Tuesday. But now some creators are saying they can't afford their lifestyle anymore, all right? That they built their entire brand around. So what happened? Think about it, you guys, all right? Apartment tours, first class flights, $2,000 shopping halls, restaurants every night, and viewers aren't just watching someone's special occasion, they're watching somebody's everyday life. So after seeing all that, normal started looking unsuccessful, all right? Repeating an outfit wasn't enough, taking a normal vacation wasn't enough, and creators had another problem. Once your audience expects luxury content, they're going to keep wanting luxury content. And that is something hard to keep up with. And you have to keep producing it. So yesterday, handbag ain't expensive anymore. Now you need another handbag. You need another trip and you need another haul. Because you're just not living that lifestyle anymore. You're feeding a content machine. All right? But here's where the business problems comes in. Views fluctuate, all right? Brand deals fluctuate. Algorithm and monetization programs change. Audience interest changes. But do you know what doesn't automatically fluctuate downhill with them? They car payment, just because the views is low, car payments is still the same. Their lifestyle is still the same. The bills is still the same. If somebody bills $15,000 a month in expenses, all right? Around when they're earning only $20,000 a month, what happens when their income suddenly becomes $7,000? You have millions of followers and you don't have millions of cash, okay? That's another part of the conversation that I don't think that we should ignore. These influencers, there's a difference between influencers. Imagine turning your whole life into content. That is crazy. Your morning routine, your relationship is content, your vacation is content, your shopping is content. Eventually, where does your private life begin? Some creators have talked publicly about burnout and pressure, you guys, and constantly producing content and constantly sharing so much of their life. So maybe the lesson isn't look at those influencers. Don't follow behind them because they broke now, okay? The bigger lesson is we built a social media culture. We built the social media culture. We, meaning both creators and viewers. They started confusing curated lifestyle with a normal lifestyle. You can't curate your lifestyle. And maintaining the image can come with a financial and emotional cost. Okay? So what I want y'all to know and what I want, do what I want to know. They got me all flustered. But so what I want to know, what do y'all think? Do influencer culture convince us that the normal life wasn't enough? And are we finally entering a era where people would rather watch somebody's real life than pretend everything is luxurious? Because personally, I think the definition of aspirational content is changing. Maybe the next flex isn't showing everybody how much you can spend because you're going to be broke. Maybe it's building a life that you can actually afford. Okay, I'll say that again. It's building a life that you can actually afford. Okay? And you don't have to perform for the internet while doing it. So, what y'all think, you guys? Let me know down in the comments. Are y'all noticing that in 2026, these influencers are going broke? Their lifestyle is starting to crack. They can't maintain the things that, all the shopping and the handbags. Let me know. Let's get this conversation started. And maybe they'll see this and maybe they'll change their ways and start making content, real content. Lifestyle is not content. Your lifestyle can be boring.
Financial independence in 2026 isn't necessarily pessimism. It's contingency planning. People who control debt, maintain savings, and protect their income have more options when the economy becomes unstable. Men who have spent years building their financial position may simply decide that protecting it is more important than becoming someone else's emergency fund.
Last Thursday, on the 28th of May, I was sexually harassed and followed by a group of boys at about 7:55 p.m. in Cheltenham High Street in Gloucestershire. I did everything that a woman is told to do, both reactive and preventative, and that included filing a police report. On the 1st of April of this year, the government claimed that they would be cracking down on sex-based crimes, claiming that people would be able to walk the streets freely without being in fear of being sexually harassed publicly. I call bullshit. Over the weekend, I received a response within 48 hours from the police regarding my case. It was, of course, the response that I was expecting but didn't want. Despite all of the information that I provided, including the screenshot of the Google Maps route that I walked, the street addresses, the names of all the shops that I walked past, as well as a list of shops and banks that would have CCTV footage because my partner had actually contacted them asking if they had any CCTV footage. The police decided to essentially deem my case as one that they weren't going to progress with. They said that there was no line of inquiry, and that's that. I submitted the report and that's all I could do. Laws only go so far if the systems that we have in place protect and keep those laws and protect the people that fall into them. As I mentioned, there is plenty of CCTV footage. Me and my partner know this from contacting businesses, but unfortunately it's a chicken and egg situation where a lot of these businesses won't actually hand over any CCTV footage without police involvement. Now, I'm sure contacting local businesses and going through lots and lots of CCTV footage is not going to be the peak highlight of a constable's career. I'm sure that's not why you joined the police force. But you should have joined the police force to ensure that you are protecting people and taking all crimes incredibly seriously. By not taking this report seriously and not further investigating, you are enabling this kind of behaviour. You are sending a clear message that despite the laws in place, sexual harassment will be tolerated and that victims will remain to feel unsafe and vulnerable. Now, I was walking back from my workplace and to a car park that I park in every single day for work. I am now inherently worried about leaving my workplace and walking through the high street by myself. I'm now thinking of the precautions that I'm going to have to take, whether that's starting earlier in the morning and leaving my workplace so then I can go a different route when it's lighter, or even having to get someone to pick me up from my workplace because that's how unsafe I now feel. Really, this is a call out to not just Gloucestershire Police, but essentially the entire police force in the UK because we know it's an institutional problem. Take women seriously. You say that you want more women to report instances of sexual harassment or anything that goes further than that, and then you wonder why women don't. I had to be persuaded to file this report because there was a very strong feeling inside me that it was never going to be taken seriously, that there was no luck. I felt deflated and defeated after the incident even happened, before filing a report. And now look. It's no wonder why victims don't report anything when it never gets taken seriously.
The basic calculation is straightforward. Financial independence means each person carries responsibility for their own lifestyle. A single man may have fewer household expenses and complete control over his budget. A single woman may face different costs depending on income, housing, debt, or children. Neither situation tells the entire story. The actual numbers matter.
It's 2026 and we still have men who genuinely hate women. Have you forgotten you spent 9 months living rent-free in a uterus? You were an uninvited guest. You were a most invasive, painful and expensive DIY project. Hating women is like building hating the foundation it's currently standing on. You didn't manifest into existence, Jordan. You were a biological miracle that your mother probably regrets every time she sees you. I see the guys on YouTube explaining why women are distractions or too emotional. You're out here drinking raw liver smoothie and sleeping on a block of salt to find your inner warrior, while a woman is navigating a corporate merger, a family crisis, and your fragile ego, all while bleeding and not making a 4-hour documentary about a daily grind. You're not a high-value man, Chad. You're just a guy who cannot find his own socks without a search party. International Women's Day is a joke because it implies they only deserve 24 hours of recognition. It's a performative apology for 364 days of explaining their own expertise back to them. We give them a bouquet of dead flowers and a pink them LinkedIn post to compensate for the fact that they've been carrying the weight of the entire species since the beginning of time. One day is not a celebration, it's a tactical distraction from our own collective incompetence. We have mothers, sisters, daughters, colleagues who are quietly preventing the apocalypse, while we are still trying to figure out if we are emotionally available or just need a nap. You don't need a day of recognition, you need a world that finally admits that you are the architect of existence and we are just the clumsy MC interns. So thank you for existing, thank you for creating life from scratch, and thank you for not abandoning the human race yet, even though we've given you reason to walk away. Stay brilliant, stay ruthless, and please keep ignoring the manifestation bros. They're just the white nose of a fading ego. Happy International Women's Day, every single day of the year.
So, why are some men refusing to financially rescue women in 2026? The answer may be simple. More men are treating financial independence as a personal responsibility rather than something they owe to someone else. When a man has spent years building his savings, career, and assets, he may be far less willing to sacrifice them because someone expects him to provide.
I have a question. If men are no longer coming up to women, if men are no longer reaching out from friends of a friends to find a wife, how are we supposed to be getting married? What happened to the times where a man used to see you at the masjid and be like, yo, who is that sister? Let me go ask someone to ask someone to ask somebody if she's single, and if she is, let me talk to her mahram. Like, what happened to those days? What happened to them? What happened to them?
What is that about? What is that about? I have seen so many hot guys lately, and we make eyes, we exchange the look, we have the look, and then there's nothing else. I'm like, are you going to come approach me? Hello? I don't want to be the one to approach you, okay? Because that's not my man's. My man's has, you know, the balls that he has, and he's not afraid to come up to me and say something. Say hello.
That doesn't mean every struggling woman should be ignored, or that helping someone you love is automatically wrong. Healthy relationships involve mutual support. The difference is between voluntary support and permanent dependence. When assistance becomes an obligation, resentment can replace generosity.
What's up with men? I don't know. I wanted to ask you, men don't come up and ask or talk to you anymore. There was this cute guy. He went to the bar at one point, so I was like, oh, let me go to the bar too. So I like saddled up next to him at the bar and kind of like gave like a look. And he looked right at me and then like looked away. I was like, okay, well, never mind. Like I was seeing something that apparently wasn't actually happening. And as we left, one of the other bachelorettes on this trip was like, oh my gosh, that guy kept looking at you. Did you guys talk? I was like, wait, what? You saw it too? I guess I could have said, hi, how are you? I don't know why I didn't. I guess I was like, I made that move. Meet me the other 75% of the way or whatever it is.
It is becoming like that. Like, I think that there's a shift in it. And honestly, women have to take more of the reins in a way. Maybe we should have a man on and ask him what that's like. Why don't they do that?
Is there a dating expert man that would like to come on this podcast?
I can't remember many times that like I've been approached. And that has been like hard on my self-confidence because I've seen it happen to my friends, specifically these two friends that are like drop dead gorgeous, fit all the beauty standards, petite. Obviously, I'm not harping on them, but I'm always just like, why doesn't that happen to me? Am I like intimidating somehow? Am I putting off like a certain vibe? I like to be like, it's just my height, I guess. And I'm just too broad of shoulders for someone to approach me. But like, I've been approached by women. And so I wonder if it really is almost switching these days of like, people are just...
The real question is whether modern relationships can create enough reciprocity and financial compatibility for people to genuinely want to combine their resources. When both partners can support themselves, financial help becomes a choice rather than a requirement. And when men realize they can say no, the expectation that male income is automatically available may become increasingly difficult to maintain.
Men stop playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest